When people picture a dead body, they picture one lying in an open casket or on an autopsy table on a crime show, and it's all like... That's a dead body that's been worked on. Real dead bodies are all like... Which, you know, that's confronting, that's hard, that's real death. Which is why the first thing a funeral director or mortician will do when they find out a family wants to see the dead body is close the eyes, close the mouth. This question came from another mortician named Eric, and it was such an insidery death question, but you guys love insider death stuff, so I thought it was perfect. Are you a suture or needle injector kinda gal? Eric is asking how I close my mouths. When I first started in the industry, I was a needle injector kinda gal. This is a needle injector. Here's how it works. So that little hole at the tip of the needle injector, you stick this small pointy pin with a wire attached to it. With the deceased lying on the prep room table, you pull back their upper and lower lips to reveal their maxilla on the top and mandible on the bottom. Anatomy 101, you're welcome. The needle injector actually drives those little pins into the gums. Ka-chink. I would always do 4 pins, 2 in the top gums, 2 in the bottom gums. Then you would pull up the jaw and secure it into place by twisting the wires together like bread bag ties. Then you tuck the wires away back into the mouth where you can't see them, and theoretically, you're in business. I say theoretically there because I found that with older people or people with extremely atrophied or recessed gums, which wearing dentures can definitely cause, there was always the threat that the pins might pop out of place, and that's the last thing that you'd want happening during a viewing. It never happened during any of my viewings, but the thought haunted my dreams. Now, the suture method of closing the mouth, I didn't actually learn until I got to mortuary school. It's intense. You start with one of these big curvy needles loaded up with suture thread. Then you basically sew the mouth shut. There are a couple of different ways to go about it, all of which are going to be very difficult to demonstrate without me looking completely ridiculous. I'm just gonna look ridiculous, okay? So the needle starts behind the bottom teeth, goes through, and comes out the bottom of the chin. Turn back around, needle goes up through the same hole, this time coming out in front of the teeth. This allows you to gently pull up the jaw into place. Then the needle goes up into the left nostril, through the septum, down through the right nostril. Bring the jaw together and tie the strings. Ta-da! If the person's dentures have gone missing or they just don't have any teeth, you can incorporate these guys, which are called mouth formers. They go over the gums behind the lips, kind of like a sports mouth guard. Usually the first one you put in is way too big and it makes them look like a monkey person. And you're like, oh, sorry, Mr. Johnston, and you take it out and cut it down until it looks more natural. At this point, you're probably wondering, Caitlin, which method do you use now? And the answer is, I try to use neither of them. Because our funeral home tries to work with less invasive, more natural methods, we usually use the painfully simple, rolled up towel beneath the chin method. The other option is to take a small towel or scarf, put it underneath the chin, and tie it either on top of the head or right behind the head. Now, these methods would look really out of place if someone was in the full suit and tie in the casket, but since we tend to lay our bodies out either in the home or in our viewing room covered in like white sheets and flower petals, it really doesn't look that strange because it's more of the vibe. But it's what the family wants. So even though we don't embalm at our funeral home, if they want dad in the suit and tie and for it to mimic a conventional wake as much as possible, we'll do the mouth suture. Because I still have the bad memories from the needle injector. They never go away. Normally I like to have a question at the end of my videos, but what am I gonna ask? How do you close your mouths? I guess the question would be, how do you feel about the mouth being sewn shut? Is it a matter of, doesn't hurt, I'm dead, whatever looks good, or does it feel invasive to you? That's a question. Good job, Caitlin. Brought to you with support from People's Memorial Association and the Co-op Funeral Home, and donations from viewers like you. In doing these little Patreon pitches at the end of my videos, I want to make it clear that none of that money goes to my personal bank account. It's not like I'm saving up to buy a death video Lamborghini or Tesla. Ooh. But what the money does go to is to the nonprofit and to now help pay the people who are doing more research for the videos and helping to edit the videos. Even 25 or 50 cents a video really helps the death positive movement. So thank you, deathlings.